Here's a morning prayer I want to share with you. In the rankest soil, the most beautiful, choicest flowers are grown. So in the darkest of poverty, the choicest flowers of humanity develop and then bloom. Think about that for a minute. As you go about your day, what can you learn from the hardships you experience? I experienced hardships in my life, very, very difficult times. One, when I lost my father at an early age and didn't have that mentor and guidance in my life that I needed to help me get through the struggles and even self-discovery, to find myself, to find my purpose in life, to know what that really meant, to have that mentor help you define yourself, help you to know how you respond to certain difficulties in life. This was some of the challenges I had growing up, and it left some learning gaps for me. As a matter of fact, all throughout my 20s and even to my 30s, I struggled a lot with understanding who I was, what my purpose was in life, and just understanding how to identify my strengths and weaknesses. All came from not having that deep relationship that I desired with my father because he wasn't there. And as a result of that, I began giving myself, as it were, to every preconceived idea and bad thought that people said about me. I took it in, and those words became imprinted into my soul, sort of like the saying that sticks and stones will break my bones, of words will never hurt me. Well, that's not 100% true. So I want to share that that's the struggle that I went through, and it took me going through therapy, having people to speak life to me and over me to help me get beyond that. And as a person who grew up without a father figure in my life, and as a person who grew up with having negative influences around me and being in a poverty situation, there were things that I had to learn. So 3 things I want to share with you that I'm still learning and going through. I don't quite get it yet, but I think they may be helpful to you. Number 1, virtue manifests itself in hardship and unsatisfactory conditions. Virtue manifests itself in hardship and unsatisfactory conditions. And that means there's some things you can only learn through struggle. There's some things you can only learn as you go through hardship, and you are forced and put in a position where you have to figure out how to maintain yourself, how to take care of yourself. I had a friend who was kicked out of a relationship. The partner kicked him out and left him without a lot of finances. So what happened? That person had to learn how to take care of themselves. And there was a sense of virtue that virtue of resiliency, that virtue of stick-to-itness was developed because of that experience they went through. Okay. The second thing I want to tell you this is that sometimes you'll be put in situations where people treat you unfairly. And the most important thing that I like to talk about, or I'm still learning, is that you have to return unkindness with gentleness and forgiveness. Unforgiveness only hurts you. It doesn't hurt the other person, right? You ever met someone, mother or father, who was, dealing with struggles and pains from their childhood, and because they've been able to unforgive? It doesn't mean that you condone what someone did to you that's wrong. It just means that you're not allowing unforgiveness to settle in your heart, because it causes you more pain than it caused the person who may not even thinking about how they hurt you. That's important to remember. Now, if this content is helping you, I want you to go ahead on and subscribe, and then share this with somebody who may benefit. The third thing I want to share with you: no one can enslave you unless you are enslaved in your mind first. Until you conquer the slave or the oppressive mindset in your own brain, you're going to allow everyone else to decide your life for you, to make choices for you. All right. So until you get rid of the negative thinking, until you get rid of the negative patterns of behavior, until you are able to believe that, yes, you have value. Yes, you have purpose. Yes, you are not defined by your weaknesses. You are not defined by your mistakes. You're not defined by bad things happen to you. Those things don't define you. Listen, we've all had hard experiences. I remember my stepfather telling me years ago that I would be nothing. And beloved, that stuck with me. Even when I didn't want it to, it stuck with me. So every time I had a failure in life, or every time I tried something and it didn't work out, guess what? In the back of my mind, guess what I heard? You will be nothing. Okay? And it took me a while to get over that. And so I want to encourage you that if you have those kinds of experiences, or if you have that sense of that oppressive mindset, a negative mindset, this is a way that you can begin getting over that. First, 2 Corinthians 4:7-10 says this, that we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the surpassing greatness of the power of God is not from ourselves, but from him. And then it says this, for we are afflicted on every side, but not crushed. We are perplexed, but not destroyed. We are persecuted, but never forsaken. We are struck down, but not totally done away with. Always carrying about in our bodies the dying of Jesus, so that the life of Christ may be manifested in us. And what that really means for you, and what that really means for me, I think, in order for Christ to reach his full potential and purpose, he had to go through struggles and then begin to defeat the negative mindset, the people who persecuted him. He had to begin to defeat those things in himself first so that he could reach his full potential. And so what the text in Corinthians is saying, if we want to be like Christ, as an example, we're bearing in our bodies. It means that we are displaying to the world, just as he did, that we're able to overcome the negativity in our lives so that we can reach our full potential. Here's my prayer. God give you the grace to see the power within, that you walk by faith, not by sight, that you will not be held captive by what has happened to you in the past, but you will reach forward into your future. And in doing this, you may see the full manifestation of your better self. If this is helping you, once again, please put a comment below. Just say amen. Let me know that this is tracking with you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video that YouTube is going to suggest. And I think you should watch it. Till next time, peace.